What's up everyone, Danny Lightning back with another CSR2 video. So the new race pass is up. We're going to go over a lot of cars, let you know which ones are good. Do they have live racing setups and all that good stuff. So we're going to start off with the free tier. We got the Pandem Skyline GTR BCN R33. This is the tier 4 car capable of running about a 9.9. It can do about 260-ish miles per hour. 0 to 60 in 1.2 or 1.3, 0 to 100 in about 2.3, and it doesn't really do much for live racing. It does have 5 stars, it does look really cool, but it's not one of the better tier 4 cars in the game. It comes in place number 24 on the fastest tier 4 car list, so it's not that bad, but it's just kind of an okay car in my opinion. Next, we have the McLaren 765 LT. This is a 5-star car, and it's a tier 5 car. This car is capable of running in the 7.2s, doing over 390 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.8 something, and 0 to 100 in around 1.1 or 1.2. I didn't really find any good live racing setup for the car. It's not a big dyno beater. In my opinion, it's just kind of an okay car. And this is the 210th fastest tier 5 car in the game, so it's not one of the faster ones. Next, we're going to look at the Challenger SRT Demon HPE 1200 by Dodge, and this one does have a setup for live racing, sort of. This one might win you a couple of live races on a low upgrade setup. But I would not expect this to be great at live racing. I know the 765 we just looked at with a couple of upgrades and some stage 6 parts, maybe it'd win a few live races here or there, but neither of these are going to be great live racers. This car is going to run in the 7.2s or 7.3s. It's going to do about 395-ish miles per hour, 0 to 60 in about 0.8 or 0.9, 0 to 100 in about 1.3, maybe 1.4. I believe this is the 224th fastest car in Tier 5. You can get this car to beat the dyno a little bit. It's not much of a dyno beater. Just in general, I don't really like any of these 3 cars right here on the free one. Now, if I were to choose one of these 3 cars right here, I would really have to think about this. I'm not 100% sure which one I would choose. I mean, the Pandem Skyline looks amazing. Honestly, I think in this case, I would probably go with the Dodge. I mean, to me, that probably seems like the better bet, but it's going to be personal preference on this one, I think. This is a hard choice. Just look at the stats and the stuff I told you about the cars, and I guess base your decision off of that. All right, so let's move over to the paid tier. We're going to start with the 2020 Mercedes AMG, whatever that is, G63 thingy dingy. Now, this is a really awesome looking car. This car is capable of doing in the 6.9s or 7.0s, I guess it would be. It's going to do about 418, 420 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in around 0.8, 0 to 100 in like 1.3 something, and those aren't bad scores, I guess. Now, this is not a car that I would try to take into live racing. It doesn't really have any type of good live racing setup that I could find that helps it win live races easily. This is the 118th fastest tier 5 car with 5 purple stars. Not really much of a dyno beating car. I mean, the top speed is good, it's fast, it's got that stuff going for it. It's just not a car that's very tunable. So it's not a bad car, it's just not going to be something you can really live race. Next up, we have the Ford 2006 GT Heritage Edition, and this is a tier 4 car with 5 purple stars, and this thing looks really nice. Not much of a live racer as far as I can tell. This car will run about a 9.7, do about 329 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in about 1.6, 0 to 100 in about 2.6, so that's not the greatest acceleration. This is the 11th fastest tier 4 car in the game. This car will beat the dyno time by like 2 or 3 tenths of a second, so that's pretty good right there if you're looking for something to beat the dyno. There's no low performance point high evo live racing setup that I can find, so it'll win live races by beating the dyno, but remember, the game will pick you up and move you, and then eventually that car is going to be in a lobby where it can't win anymore, so that's the problem with beating the dyno time when winning live races. Also remember, if you need parts for purple star cars, if you go to open crates for a car with purple stars, those crates will cost real money to open, not keys. Overall, this is a pretty nice car. I probably spent a good 20-30 minutes trying to find a live racing setup for this car yesterday, and I just couldn't find anything. So, not a bad car. If you need a good tier 4 car for everything but live racing, this is not a bad choice. Next up, we have the Toyota Pandem V1.5 GR Supra. This is a tier 5 car with 5 purple stars. Now, this car, with the right mix of tier 3 and tier 4 parts, seems to do very well at live racing with a nice amount of Evo points. So this is an okay live racer right here. I think there are better live racers in the game, but this will win a pretty decent amount of live races if you set it up correctly. This is going to be the 145th fastest tier 5 car in the game, and it's a tier 5 car, like I just said, with 5 purple stars. This car can probably beat the dyno by maybe 1 or 2 tenths of a second. This car will run in the 7.0 or 7.1, so it's a pretty fast car. It'll do about 435, 440 miles per hour, 0 to 60 in 0.8 or 0.9, 0 to 100 in probably 1.3 or 1.4, so these have pretty good numbers. It does have a live racing setup. It beats the dyno by a little bit. In my opinion, this is probably the best choice out of the 3 cars. But out of all 6 cars in the race pass, this is probably the only car that I actually like out of all of them. I love the way that little Sylvia or whatever it is, that Nissan, that thing looks cool, but it's not that great. But yeah, this one is. I don't know. But out of all the race pass cars, I guess I would go with the Dodge and the Supra if you're talking about the free and the paid tiers. So that's my thoughts. Those are the stats. That's what I would choose, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe even consider a channel membership. It really helps the channel keep going. That kind of support helps the channel big time. We bring you all kinds of really good, useful information to try and help you out. So if you want to repay the favor, just hit the little join button down below the video, or the thanks button, or check out the video's description. There's some links in there to help support the channel. There's my other YouTube channels, my Discord server, my stuff. There's things in there. There's stuff in there. Just check that out if you want to. All right, so that's going to wrap this one up. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Lightning out. Have an awesome day. See ya.